Hello niece and nephew, this is Uncle Robert. In a volatile week for tech, where Nasdaq dropped 3% in a single day and treasury rates going up to the moon, everyone is asking when is this gonna end? I hope I have some answers for you. In my past video, we saw how ARK was openly admitting how they're preparing for this crash. In my follow-up video, we're trying to get hints from ARK to see if the rotation from tech is over. So another thing we're going to do today is to take another sneak peek into ARK's holdings to see if there's any hints that this tech rotation is over. But as Uncle Robert did my research, I found something very interesting. I kind of think that ARK is under attack, maybe because of this.
It's okay to enjoy being a rock star, even if it's just for a moment, right? You're enjoying potentially life-changing success.
This is after the triple-digit gain.
Let's dive deeper into it later. It is also very important to see how ARK is fighting back. Sneak preview, ARK has a new price target for Tesla for 2025. We're going to look at where 10-year treasury is headed to see where this tech rotation will actually end. In the end, I'm going to conclude with what's the best thing to do if I'm a stockholder, or if I'm an option holder, or if I'm a viewer. Of course, if you're a viewer, the best thing to do is to like and subscribe to this channel so you'll get more content like this in the future. Very briefly, we know what ARK did in preparation for this correction. They're not allowed to hold cash, so what they did was to move most of their stocks into cash-like instruments. And to know when's the bottom, we can look at March 2020, at the bottom of the COVID crisis. What ARK did was to sell on all the cash-like instruments and to focus their portfolio from 50 over names down to 30 plus names on only the highest conviction plays. If you see hints of that, we know this is over. Niece and nephew can check out my video for more information on this. So comparing ARK holdings today to a snapshot 2 weeks before, we don't see much difference. You don't see much selling of the cash-like instruments, and the cash-like balance is still about $3 billion. If you look at ARK holdings, they still have 50 over stocks, so they have not concentrated onto the high conviction names. So on the surface, this tells us this is not the major correction that ARK was preparing for. But putting things into context, although ARK has went negative for the year, the drop is less than what they had during the COVID time. Now for the interesting discovery. I took ARK's top 20 holdings and compared that with Nasdaq 100 as well as S&P 500 indexes. Guess what I found? ARK's holding were beaten down way more than the indexes. So with this, Uncle Robert came up with 2 theories. 1. The sharks are out to get Auntie Kathy. She has undergone a huge celebrity status, just like Chamath, and both of their stocks have been beaten down worse than the market. To take a deeper look into this, I'm going to pick 3 stocks from ARK and compare them with the same sector. First, you can see Teradyne. ARK has bought heavily into Teradyne. So Teradyne is a semiconductor equipment maker. Comparing Teradyne with its peers, you can see Teradyne has dumped the most. We can also look at the other 2 semiconductor names, TSM and Nvidia. Besides AMD, both Nvidia and TSM has been trashed compared to all the other similar semiconductor names. Take a look. From these names, it felt like correction never even happened. Theory number 2. Since ARK openly declares their buying and selling and their holdings, many retail traders follow suit and buy exactly what ARK bought. And in these volatile times, the suits are shaking out the paper hands. Just look at my other video over here. Top Robinhood stocks were dumped, and those with more retail ownership, meaning less institutional ownership, are dumped worse than others. So what is ARK doing to fight back? As I scroll through ARK's daily trades, I can see that they're doing less and less over the past 2 weeks. And on the last day, they barely made any trades. Have they given up? I'm thinking they're trying to go silent to prevent further attacks. Any move by ARK is really dangerous. For example, Baidu is a big holding of theirs. There was one day where they cut a little bit of Baidu, and what happened to Baidu the next day? It went down over 10%. And as we all know, Tesla is the biggest holding for ARK. And ARK is fighting back through Tesla. Hot off the press, ARK gave a new price target for Tesla of $3,000 for 2025. That's like 5 times up from here. And that is not even a bull case. Bull case goes all the way up to 4,000 and the bear case is 1,500. Way higher than the street's highest price target of 1,200 right now. I guess once the retail trader momentum comes back behind ARK, they're gonna start stalling again. Another look at when this will end. We know the 10-year treasury rates heavily affect how tech stocks are being deemed, whether they're overvalued or not. So Jerome Powell allowing the SLR to expire on March 31st, we can expect rates to go up in April. So for the short term, I do not know for how long, the road is going to be rocky.
The road is going to be rocky.
But if you look at the long-term trend, it's pretty apparent that the rates would go down eventually. So for long-term holders out there, there's nothing to worry. You can diamond hand through it. Or you can take profits off your margin holdings and buy when the dip comes back again. You don't know how many more dips there are going to be. So this brings us to what Uncle Robert would do right now. Disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is just Uncle Robert's own opinion. Please make your own assessment for your own investment. First, what will Uncle Robert do for stocks? Comparing ARK holdings with things in the same sector, we can see that they're clearly oversold. And since ARK has strong conviction in them, out in time they're going to come back and going to exceed the current price. So for stocks, Uncle Robert would average in through the bottom. And you know I love options, so what would I do for options? Time decay is a big enemy for options. So what I would do is to wait for upward momentum and just catch the moves when the momentum is intact. For options, it's better to be safe than sorry. The third best thing to do is to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And if you find this useful, please consider sharing with more friends. What do you think caused ARK to underperform? Let me know in the comments below. What other celebrity stocks are being attacked beyond Chamath and Auntie Kathy? Please also let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye!